Soon we're going to have the Global Mercy coming online. You can't help but be moved by the things that you see here. That's life-changing and it's life-giving.
Welcome to Mercy Ships. I'm Anne Buckland, the Global Campaign Manager for Mercy Ships, and we are in the heart of the Global Mercy today. We're in the middle of our Come On Board season, which is 2 weeks in Rotterdam, where we've really used this as an opportunity to welcome the world to Mercy Ships, to introduce the new Global Mercy to the world, but also to really celebrate the people who make up Mercy Ships and also the lives that are impacted. The Africa Mercy, as we speak, is in service in Senegal, so it's just such a great opportunity right now to catch up with some of our amazing volunteer professionals, hear some of their stories and their testimonies, and find out what it is that keeps them helping Mercy Ships be what it is. So in the studio with me, I have Tatyana and Mark. How are you both?
Good, very good.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
Good to be here.
Now, Mark, first, tell me a bit about what you do.
Currently, I'm the dining room team leader. So basically, I coordinate communication with my team and the food services folks and the galley, anybody else who needs help with meals in the dining room.
Perfect. And what does that look like? I mean, how many meals are we talking at the moment?
Oh, geez. Right now, we're probably serving around 600 to 700 meals a day.
Wow.
And we're not even close to full capacity. So we're still ramping up and preparing for field service. So we're looking a lot at processes and all kinds of things right now to forward-looking, serving upwards of almost 2,000 meals a day.
Wow.
So yeah, it's going to be a big, exciting time.
Absolutely. And Tatyana, how about you?
I'm a mom on board, and I have a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 9-year-old.
Wow. And how long have you been volunteering with Mercy Ships?
On and off since 2003.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so what was it that first brought you to Mercy Ships?
Well, I got married to a decky, and he worked with another mission before, and then as we got married, he decided to pursue his career and continue to help missions and other ships. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. And what is it that keeps you coming back?
It's a very nice environment for kids. They are very protected, but at the same time, it's nice to see them growing and having that knowledge of helping other people. And we always go outside and go through the streets and visit the patients. So it's a very nice place. Yeah.
Brilliant. And what's it meant for your kids actually growing up?
Yeah, this is their home. Actually, that's where they think I'm going home. This is the place. Well, Mercy Ships.
Mm-hmm.
We were on the Africa Mercy before, and now we just arrived here. And they love the school. They trust people. They play together in school. The kids play together after school. So for them, it's a very beautiful world. Let's put it this way.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And Mark, how about you? How long have you been volunteering for Mercy Ships?
I've been here since the ship came to Antwerp, so to begin equipping.
Mm-hmm.
So it was September 17th, and so it's been about 5 months now.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's been great.
And what was it that brought you?
I had heard about Mercy Ships several years ago, and I had retired a couple of years ago, so I was looking for some things to do, and COVID kind of got in the way. I had a plan, but that was kind of derailed.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that they were going to be equipping, so I applied. And they said initially they didn't have, they weren't going to have space until field service in a year. But then I got a note, and they said we need you now. So there I was,
Mm-hmm.
and extending beyond, because it's been a great experience.
Mm.
Yeah.
So can you describe that experience? What's it look like?
Well, it was. I didn't know what to expect, really. I mean, I'd seen all the materials, but it was based on field service in the Africa Mercy and a different ship. So this is quite a much larger ship, and really a pleasant surprise from the standpoint of the accommodations and the ship itself is pretty impressive. So, but that and just the crew and everybody involved has been fantastic. I mean, it's a fantastic mission. It gives me an outlet, to live out my faith basically, and to have something really constructive to do, with my retirement time, which I'm very blessed to have had a lot of, a good life, and I want to give something back. So it's been great. And then the more I learn, I think I just decided I'd like to stay with it for a little while. So we'll see what happens.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, thanks.
And where are you from in the States? What?
I lived the last 25 years before I came here in Chicago. So, but I sold everything, and I'm kind of a traveling vagabond right now. So that was another blessing, because I could extend. I didn't have anywhere to go back to necessarily, that I had to go back to. Not that I didn't have a place, but so I'm free to kind of explore this, and it's been a great ride, and I'm looking forward to going to Senegal.
Amazing.
So yeah.
Amazing. Okay. And Tatyana, what does family life look like on board the Global Mercy currently?
It's very busy. It can be very busy. The kids are in school from 8 until 3:30 in the afternoon. And they come home to have lunch, and then they go back to school. After that, they always want to play together with the same friends from school. They do homework. And then they play a little bit. They can play in the big area upstairs that they have for the kids, or we can go to the park like we have here. When we are in Africa, we have the dock area where they prepare place for the kids to play. So we're very blessed with space in this way. And for the parents, it's more like going around them, and especially for me, we call the moms or some of the dads PCGs. It's a primary caregiver. So one of the parents work full time, and the other one is with the kids when they are out of school. So my husband works as a deck officer, and I'm with the kids. After they come home, and then we have dinner at 5, and then it's routine to go to bed and rest for the next day.
So that's interesting. So I've not heard of the primary caregivers before.
Yeah.
So that's quite a community then.
It is. Some moms are the main worker in the family. So we have some dads as PCGs as well. But during the time the kids are in school, we can find a job and help around. And some of us have a specific job that we do every day. And then we have to be home when the kids are home for emergency. The primary caregiver has to be there, and it's quite busy. The day goes fast. And then when you see it's vacation time. But we have opportunity during the evening to take the kids, like I said, to see the patients, because we can visit the patients every evening. And then we have the moms or the PCGs can arrange things to do together with the kids. It's very nice. Yeah.
It must give the children quite a lot to meet the patients as well. And
Yes. At first, when they come and they see, they're kind of, they don't know what to do, and you can see in their faces they're a little bit scared or unprepared to see some situations that we see. But then we have a lot of patients that are kids as well. So then kids with kids, they play together. It's really nice to watch. And sometimes we do like nails for the patients or coloring and music all the time, Africa music. They go very well together. And our hospital is a very noisy place during these times of visit because they're always playing. The Africans are always singing, and it's a very nice, interesting hospital to go visit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's actually quite homely, even though it's a hospital.
Yes, it is. It is. It's interesting. It's interesting to see the joy, especially after the. And I think it makes the patients that are waiting for the surgeries to feel like, okay, it's not a bad idea to be in this hospital place because it is a joy. It's a completely different hospital from all the other hospitals you can go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Perfect. And so, Mark, this is your first time of volunteering, so
Yeah.
is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
So how would you describe it to someone who, because obviously you've not been on a field service yet, but you've been
Yeah.
very much helping with equipping,
Right.
and then the launch of the ship in Rotterdam. So
Well, it's really interesting. I mean, I think, you don't really know what you're getting into as you get into it, and I think my first time I thought I would go for a couple of weeks and see how it is, and it was a 3-month deal, and it went by really quickly, and I was surprised at how quickly it went by, and, the original intention was to see, all right, do you fit in with this model, and how does it all work? And I felt very comfortable, and people are very welcoming, and it's a faith-based community as well. So, people are really good at navigating through difficulties and those types of things with patients. And as I got into it, I realized, this is, it's a unique thing to experience because it's not every day that you're kind of living with a second family almost, and you're working with them constantly. And so that you become very quickly a part of the group. And the thing that binds you is the fact that you want to make it to that mission and really see where the rubber meets the road, and that's going to be in Senegal, at some point. So, I'd really love to see how that works because the people who have been there, it's obviously a very meaningful experience to them. It's life changing. So
Yeah.
I'd like to experience that.
perfect. And Tatyana, as a mum as well, was there any? Obviously, if you started in 2003, how old? You had children at that point, or you?
No, we got married and we came. It was quite interesting, different. Yeah.
So your children have very much grown up through the ships then.
Yeah, we stayed for 6 years after that first time we came. Actually, we were on the Caribbean Mercy. That was my first experience with Mercy ships. And we were there for about 6 years, I think. And we left. I got pregnant with my first child. We went to England when the Africa Mercy was being rebuilt. And so we were there for 2 years with that. And my husband sailed the ship the first time. And I believe it was here. I'm not sure. I believe it was Rotterdam. And then I went home to have our first child. And then we came back with him as a baby, Estevam. And then Benjamin came, and then we stayed at home for about 6 years as well. And then Abby came when we were in Brazil. And then we came in 2016, I believe, again. For them, Abby was 3 when we came. And Ben was about 6, and something like that. And so the memories they have with school and friends and living and having their own little things, their bed, their room, is all within on board one of the ships. So, that's their memories pretty much. Sailing somewhere. Yeah.
And that's wonderful. How did they feel about it?
From actually, when I had Estevam, we had a meeting, all the moms at that time, and Dion Stephens. And one of the questions were, how do you deal with the kids if they don't want to stay on board, if they want to go back to normal life? And she said, Dion Stephens said something that I really keep in my heart. If the parents are in peace, the kids will be in peace. And so we went back home, and they were in peace there, the two boys. When we came here, they are in peace here because we are in peace. That this is the place we're supposed to be, that God has called us to be. And then, so before, when we came first time, they said, oh, I don't want to leave our toys, our friends. But now they say, I want our friends from Brazil to be here. They don't say anymore that they want to go back. They say, I want my friends to come and see what we do and see our home, because they pretty much feel like home here.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes. It's a blessing.
And how would you describe Mercy Ships to someone who's not encountered it?
That's really hard because in a way, like I said, it's home for us. And then people kind of ask, how is to live inside a place like this for such a long time? And then the specifics of the place is really hard to explain. But the mission in itself always call to people for them to come and join. They always say, wow, I want to be part of something like this. So we explained to them the mission view part of it. Like we're going to these places, we're helping people that in another situation they would never have the help that the ship gives to them, because that's what the patients tell us. We lived with such a long time with this problem. It may be like a tooth problem. It may be like an eye problem. Things that for us are so simple back home to fix. And it may be these big tumors that we see. They all say we would never have the help if you were not here. So that's the part of the mission that we always try to explain, the medical part of it. And then at the same time saying, because of that, they ask us, why are you doing this for us? And then we have the specific situation to tell them, because God loved us and God loves you. So that's why we bring this to you as a gift from Him to you. So this is the nice part of the view. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So obviously, Tatyana, I can imagine you'll be with Mercy Ships for a while to come. Mark, how do you feel at the beginning of your journey?
So it's kind of interesting what Tatyana said, because I'm getting a lot of questions from back home, a lot of friends and family. When you coming home? What are you doing? You're staying longer? Or, it's been all, and they almost look at it as you're giving all this time and it's almost inconceivable for them to spend this much time doing something. But once you get into it, I said, look, this is it's a privilege to be able to do something like this. It's a blessing to have, the time and the means to be able to give something back to somebody, and it's. For me, it's not just, washing dishes and directing people in the dining room and all that kind of stuff. It's the end game is getting the boat down to the mission. And, that's huge. It's something much bigger than I am. And it's something that's really kind of, in this case, very historic to be a part of, because we're setting the stage for the next 50 years of doing this, and it's a huge mission. So, I just feel like it's an incredibly different experience to be a part of, and it's a way to live out your faith, to give back to other people. So I don't really see it as, I'm giving up a bunch of stuff. I'm gaining so much more in so many different ways in terms of the experience and the people I'm meeting, and The guys from Africa just came on board, and they're just a really fun group of guys. And just all the people you meet from, I think my group has people on our team from 5 continents and 15 different countries. And this is just an experience that's just, so unique that I feel like I'm getting so much more than I'm giving, but to people who are kind of looking from the outside, they kind of look at it like, well, why are you doing it? Well, you kind of have to experience it to understand it. And when you come, and I'm just a baby in this organization, when you see how many people have been doing this for so many years, and it really, I think, becomes, kind of a passion for them. So, so it's neat. I think it's something you experience and you try to explain to people and see if they catch on, So.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for your time. It's brilliant to hear your stories, and really actually lovely to interview you both together when you've got someone who's very new to the organisation and someone who's been in it for a long time. And actually brilliant to hear your perspectives on all of that as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.